staying true to who you are as we sit in a world that's so up in the air and any clear next steps seem uncertain, one thing that's clear is that there's a place for almost anything to be the next big thing. To take a look at knowing who we are and being who we are is Ayesha Damo. Hey, what's going on, Ayesha? How you doing?
Hey, Peter, I'm good. How are
All right.
you?
Good. How's everything in New York?
Very, good. And yeah, I have actually, speaking of the hustle, which I'm about to maybe disagree with Duke about, but I have been hustling myself as well, admittedly. I have my music video, Dance Till Dawn, which is going to be premiering at Dances with Films in Los Angeles, but actually on the internet this year because of COVID. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, well, let me just get into it.
Right on. Yeah, let's get into what you said. I was going to ask you about that, but you beat me to it. So let's get right into your segment here. All right.
We just flow into what Duke was saying, but what I really want to talk about this week is the importance of staying true to who you are. And it's a cliche, right? Everybody says it. Everybody pays lip service to this idea, but actually living it is kind of a whole other thing. And what I want to suggest right now is that in this current world of rapid change, when all the balls are up in the air and we don't know what's going on, even people who seem to have a plan are hardly able to really predict what's next. I just want to suggest that there's an opportunity here to really tune into that person that you are and live from that place. So, the first step of staying true to who you are is actually knowing what that is and figuring out who you are. I think that everything that's ensued in the last 6 months it's really given us a lot of opportunities to look into that. Like, who are you during a pandemic when all of the social norms of interaction have been thrown up in the air? Or who are you when there's this barrage of clickbait news and headlines that manipulate in one direction or another, and they're constantly aiming to bombard your attention span? Or who are you at the core? Or if it were just one thought out conscious action followed by another, just one foot in front of another, what path would that be leading you on? I mean, we all know that these are difficult times, but there are also times when we're being given daily opportunities to connect with that core of ourselves and be the people that we were always meant to be. So perhaps we go back and recall the clean slate of who we were in childhood and how the child of us would freely take action, reaching toward friendship, valuing the moment in a context free of deadlines, or expressing ourselves honestly without a thought of what might limit our expression. Like, we might bring a little of that child self back into the mix, that freedom of everything being open. And for our music artists and creatives, maybe this means that you don't have to be a slave to social media when that wouldn't be a part of the natural joy that you feel in a day. And maybe you don't have to make music that you think that would be popular or on a schedule that, popularity on various platforms seems to dictate. You can sometimes aimlessly noodle at what you like to do and do that in the moment. There's really no telling what the next big thing will be. It could be anything at all. So we might as well invest in the us that we truly believe in. So that's where I'm at with this. And yeah, the hustle is important, but also sometimes you just have to be true to what feels right and the way of working that feels right for you. Regardless of how you approach the truth of who you are, I invite you to do it this week, to take some actions consciously and say, is this really me? Does this make sense to me as you do them? See what happens. I do think it's time well spent.
I love it. I love it. And the whole thing about social norms, it's like everything's out the window right now. And it's what do you do? Give us an example. I think give us an example. What are you doing this week that's going to fall under this kind of umbrella of what you're talking about?
Well, probably the reason I have to remind myself of this week is because I'm spending the whole week doing the final touches on my video that's going to be premiering. And that's the torture of my life. And exporting from Premiere, that takes 3 hours, is the torture of my life every time. So I have to find ways that I can take, all of that away and say, what does my heart want right now? And while it's exporting, can I, take a walk that I want to take, hum a tune that I want to, explore, like write down some poetry, anything that is not associated with the deadline or the pressure of that. What can I do to be outside of that?